Testing one, two. Testing one, two. Hey, so welcome in, y'all. We here. We got the offensive players. Emmanuel Henderson. First up, let's get to it.
About the same thing, but we all coming for the same mentality. We're just gonna continue getting better.
When Jalen went down, first of all, what have you kind of seen from him since then, and what does that mean for the rest of the position?
Everybody following his lead step. They're gonna continue working and getting better, and we're gonna grow off that.
First impressions of Coach Shep?
Oh, I love him, man. He's a great wide receiver coach. He's gonna come in and give us his all, and we just gonna return that favor by giving us our all, and come to work every day. He high energy guy. He's a great coach. I love him, man.
How's it feel coming into this spring, healthy, fully ready to go? Now you got a chance to really put it all out there on the field.
It feels good. I'm just continue praying to God. I got the opportunity to come out here to have a good spring, and I'm just continue building on that, and just continue working, getting better every day.
Transitioning from running back to receiver was one thing, but now you're learning a whole new system, a new scheme.
Yes, sir.
How's that working for you? And then how are you using that to help the younger guys this week?
The transition, I won't say it was easy. I had to put a lot of time and work in, especially with the route running. But I got most of the details down now, and I'm just leading by example for the younger guys. You make sure I'm doing all the right things so that they can follow my footsteps.
How do you feel about the new offense brought in by Coach Shepard and Coach DeMora?
I love the new offense. There's a lot of throwing plays, so I'm a receiver now, so that's a great thing. So, but yeah, I love the new schemes we have. We just gonna keep building on that.
How do you feel it fits your style of play?
My freshman year, so we're familiar with each other. I have no idea what my overall will be. I don't know, but I played that game when I was younger. All my friends, we do all the road to glory stuff. It was a lot of fun. So I don't know if I get a guess on my overall, but hopefully pretty good.
Anyone on the team you'd be excited to play with?
Probably Milrow because just how fast he is. It's like Michael Vick and the old Madden games. Just probably going to be really exciting player to play with.
James, could you expound briefly on just the dedication factor of what kept you here and the grind that's taking place now and where it's got you set right now?
Yeah, I mean, the past three and a half years I've been here, I've really become part of the community here, not just on the field but off the field. I've really enjoyed meeting the people in the city of Tuscaloosa, and I mean, what better place to play football at than Alabama? Just the staff and the resources and the opportunities that comes with that. So I really enjoyed it. I'm very grateful to be here.
How much confidence has the offensive line given you, just considering that you have Jaden Roberts and Tyler Booker, right next to you?
Yeah, super confident. Those are some big scary dudes you get to go play football with. So, if there's some dudes I want to be stuck in an alley with or something by my side, I'd probably pick those two guys. So, super good dudes. Also, really smart. I think shout out to Jaden. I think Jaden's done a really good job of learning, becoming more coherent. Learning the calls better, and just he's constantly working, grinding. Books obviously. Been a guy here, really established, and those two guys are going to have big seasons for us.
No, sir, I don't know. Had a lot of big dreams in terms of football. Obviously, chose to retire recently.
Yeah.
Just how's he doing, and what have you talked to him about?
Yeah, he's good. That was a really tough decision for him. At the end of the day, it was him. He talked to with my family. We talked about it, and just kind of the circumstances you're dealt with. All you can do is control what you control. I mean, back injuries aren't anything to play with. I mean, he's looking down the rest of his life, and wants to play with his kids one day. You know what I mean? So, always really proud of him, and excited for his future and whatever that encompasses.
What was it like when he chose to transfer? You were still here. You guys have been together, obviously, for basically your whole life. Just what was that like being alone for once?
Yeah, it was weird. We were roommates in the dorm, so I got the dorm to myself after that. But it was different. But at the end of the day, I was happy that he was making a decision that he thought was best for him, and that's all you want for people in your family to be happy and choose to do whatever they want to do that they think is best for themselves.
What's contributed to your confidence level in transition from last year's scheme and previous offenses to what Kalen DeBoer and Nick Sheridan are bringing in now to Alabama?
Yeah, I think the staff's going to do a really good job of utilizing the personnel in in a way that plays to everyone's strengths. So, getting to at the end of the day, also, football's football. There's some carryover to what we used to do, but obviously there's going to be some new wrinkles as well. So it's been really cool getting to learn some new concepts as well, and really excited to see it on the field and the ball.
Last question. What are some of the biggest areas that you've grown in as this spring's progressed, and obviously with this second scrimmage and then A-Day coming up?
I'd say this offseason I've gotten a lot bigger and stronger. That's always a goal in any offseason, especially for me. I mean, I came in like 200, 65 pounds as a freshman, up to like 295 now. So just continuing to get bigger and stronger is always a big part of O-lineman, obviously. And then being able to pick up the system is always super important, just because when you know what to do at a high level, you're able to play faster and make the calls, and you can bring other guys with you as well.
Okay, thanks, James.
Thank you.
All right. We'll slide over here.
He did good. He did good.
Please.
You still want me to hold this one up?
A little smaller crowd today, Coach.
All good. Fire away.
We lost most of our people to basketball today. That doesn't happen.
Hey,
We're dedicated.
roll Tide. Yep.
How are you doing?
Great.
How was practice today?
Practice was great. You just keep working, get better, but it was a good day, productive day.
Coach, the question is coming. The quarterback room, everything, development-wise, who's starting to really show that they're grasping this offense and starting to pick it up and carry it through?
I think from top to bottom, I think all four guys have really done a nice job, and since the last time I talked to you guys, we've made steps in the right direction. So I think that's what you're looking for. We've exposed them to a lot. Our defense is very multiple, so you couple those things together. But I've been pleased with the progress, and still a lot of work to be done. Just simple execution that, when you're learning a system, you become more and more comfortable with each and every day. But I've been pleased with the group.
What have you seen from Emmanuel Henderson out here today? I mean, last year's season cut short, but clearly has a lot of ability about him.
Yeah, extremely fast and a great attitude. Hardworking kid that loves football and shows up ready to go each and every day. So, we're pleased with where E-Man is, and like the rest of the guys, we are a work in progress, but we're pleased with the effort. They're working each and every day to create the habits that we're looking to see in practice, and they embrace that and they take coaching. And so, the things that we ask them to do better, they do better. And so that's what you're really looking for. And certainly E-Man's been great.
With about a week left of practice, how important is the evaluation piece of it, knowing that the portal's right there on the other side and things can change in a hurry? You need to kind of know where you are.
I don't think that the evaluation of your players has anything to do with that window. I appreciate the question. I understand why you're asking that. I think we're always trying to find ways to help the players. And so as you evaluate where they're at, you try to meet them there and try to help them get better. And so that's an ongoing process with all of our players each and every day. There's constant evaluation, constant feedback. That's really important to coach, really important to us, that the players know where they stand and they know how they can improve. I think as a player, I think that's what you're hoping to get out of a coach, is that they'll tell you where you're at and how you can improve and get better. And so that evaluation's ongoing regardless of what's down the road.
Coach Womack he said that in the scrimmage that he thought his team and his players had been mostly involved with pass because the install is mostly pass, and they got hurt pretty good by the run. Is that the way you saw it, or?
I don't know if I saw it quite that way. I think spring ball has been extremely competitive. I think there's been moments where probably both sides of the ball walk off the practice field, knowing there's work to be done. And so I can't, I will say this, we have a phenomenal staff, both sides. And so that challenge each and every day makes us better as coaches, certainly challenges the players, but top to bottom, both sides of the ball, this is an expert staff that, is helping our team get better because of what you got to go against, both technically and schematically. So, Kane's doing a phenomenal job, and the rest of the defensive staff is as well. It's very, very competitive.
What was the challenge when Jalen went down, and just what sort of players replace his skill set in that room?
We just really focus on him. you know, and how we can be there to support him, you know. So, you know, we want to do everything to surround him with love and support because he's a great kid. And so that's really what our focus has been on.
What sort of opportunities does it open for other players, though, in that room when you have the reps available in the spring?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's reps to be had, but you know, I wouldn't say that that's been the message to the guys. It's been more to love and support Jalen.
There's been multiple reports about Parker not being in practice. Can you kind of tell us where he's at and what's going on with him right now?
Yeah, I certainly appreciate the question. I'll let Coach kind of handle just player availability and where things stand, and I'm pretty sure he's talking to you guys here in the next day or so. So I'll let Coach handle that.
Coach, with the tight end room, who's starting to emerge as leaders, but also who's showing like that it factor in that room that's going to be able to step in early?
Yeah, I think it's been very competitive. You know, I think there's experience there. And so I think those guys are learning the system and trying to carve out their role. I wouldn't say that each guy is the same. You know, there's some versatility in the room. I think each player is a little bit different. And so I've been pleased with the physicality and the C and D gap. It's a big room. You know, these are 250 plus, 260 pound guys. That's not totally, normal, honestly. You know, there's some uniqueness in size. There's some uniqueness in body control, ball skills. And so each guy's a little bit different. You guys are out there, you see them. They're different body types. But what we're trying to do along with all the other players is expose them to the system, expose them to the scheme, and then as we get through spring practice, try to identify what each guy does best and put them in those positions.
If you could just talk real quick about the running backs, Justice Haynes, Jam Miller, even Richard Young, what you've seen from them so far.
Good. Yeah, good. Yeah. Yeah, really good. I think it's a very competitive room, but I also think there's some unselfishness there and recognition that in this league, as physical as it is, that you need, more than one person to be able to carry the ball competitively and tough. And I think everybody knows, even, here, that historically there's been multiple guys that have contributed and helped. And we're anticipating the same because, there's guys that deserve to touch the ball and have shown that, throughout the course of spring.
Couple more.
How would you describe?
Coach, you were mic'd up at practice, joking with the quarterbacks about their baseball background with Dylan and Ty.
Was I? I didn't. How was the mic'd up? I didn't get a chance.
It was good.
Was it good? Would you tell me if it wasn't good though?
Yeah.
Okay.
How would you describe your coaching style, especially with the quarterbacks? Like, what do you try to be for those guys?
I try to be what they need. I think that's for all of us as coaches. I think each individual player, you're genuine to who you are. You don't, think about how you're going to respond or react, but you try to be there to help them. And hopefully above else, you're teaching them how to play the game the way that you want them to play. And so, we place a priority on teaching, and so hopefully they would say that, they feel like they're getting better and being taught and improving. And certainly I see that in their play. But the players would probably be good to ask on what my coaching style is. And
You tell us the truth.
no, no, I think they would no, but no, those kids would. They would tell you. So
Got another philosophy question. Just big picture, tempo. What do you think? What's your philosophy on trying to use tempo? And then how far along are they in terms of being able to meet that with their understanding of the offense right now?
yeah, I think we're a ways away as far as mastering the pace in which we want to play with. But that's we try to vary the pace. People ask that often. Do you want to go fast? Do you want to go slow? We want to win the game. And so I think offense's job is to help the team win the game because we can manage that. That's one difference between offense and defense is certainly, the management of the clock and the pace in which you go and what's going on in the game, ahead, behind, what happened the previous series with the defense, I think there's a lot of factors that go into that. And we want to do whatever we can to win the game. And so we've always varied the tempo. We have the ability to go as fast as possible. We have the ability to slow down. And so we try to, use the strategy that helps us win.
Speaking of tempo, Alabama's basketball team plays tomorrow night. Your thoughts on the basketball team and thoughts about Nate Oates and his overall mentality?
Yeah, it's actually crazy because Coach Oates was at Romulus High School, which is like 20 minutes from where I went to high school. He wouldn't know this. I haven't had a chance to say hi to him or meet him yet, but I went and watched him coach at Romulus High School. Yeah, they played Ipsy High There was a good left-handed. Romulus was loaded. Coach probably knows that. They had a great team. It was kind of like a big deal. They were playing Ypsi High. Ypsi had a left-handed point guard that was a really good player, so it was like a big deal for even local high school kids to go watch. I was a third baseman, so I don't know why I went to the basketball game, but I took a look at it. But I think it's been impressive. I think we're behind them. I mean, it's been fun to watch. We used Grant Nelson. We used him in our unit meeting the other day and talking about how, we talk about a 1-0 mentality, and for him to come through like he did against UNC, I think was amazing. I think we all would agree with that, So we're pulling hard for him, and it's been fun to watch. And what a great job Coach has done and the staff, and most importantly the players. I mean, Sears was lights out, boys. I mean, it was unbelievable, right? I mean, it's crazy, right? So we're right behind them and wish them the best of luck.
Is the second scrimmage change in structure or just continue?
Should be similar. Yeah, we'll try to get as many plays as we can, and Coach kind of sets that, but should be similar. Okay?
Offensive meeting or QB meeting? Brad?
What's that?
Offensive meeting, full offense?
Full offense, yeah. We brought them up. And with the stash with Robbie.
Hey, undefeated, we're going to get our stuff, we're going to get squared away, and we'll get y'all with the post-practice report as soon as possible. We're going to make our way outside.
Guys, sorry we were a little early today. That's out of my control. Only about five minutes, but tomorrow meet front steps of Bright Denny at 3. That should get us plenty of time, even if they were to be early, which they won't be for a scrimmage. But I expect it to be 3:30, 3:40, somewhere like that tomorrow. But I'll just stay down there 3, let you in, and then you guys can check it. Okay. Sound good? Thank you.
All right, fam. What's up?
Hey, Josh is Kyle's best friend, y'all.
Nick Sheridan might be my best friend.
Hey, Nick is cool.
I mean, he's a cool cat.
Nick is cool.
How about that story about him talking about that he went to go watch Nate Oates play?
Yo,
or
that's
coach.
crazy.
That
That's
was
crazy.
wild.
What y'all got going though, undefeated? We
Look, so
145
these are
strong. Likes up.
all the coaches here are here for the coaching
Coaching
clinic.
clinic, yep.
Yeah.
And I seen some Alabama greats, some of the high school greats of Alabama coaches. You got, look like they getting ready for a track meet today too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Track meet tomorrow night,
Yep,
too.
Tomorrow night, that's what it is.
Oh.
But that's crazy that we getting all this action here, undefeated. Hey, make sure y'all run them likes up. We got 136 live. Need y'all to run it up. Yes, we did start early, which is
Yeah, we
pretty
started.
cool.
Well, yeah, because there's no set time. Like they tell you kind of a time to be here.
available.
Yeah, and then it just like happens. So
So glad we was able to get it live, y'all. What's up?
yeah,
y'all?
we'll set up and we'll talk for a minute. And then of course you could rewatch. The audio should be really good
was
on.
the audio good tonight? Like we made sure. There goes CJ. Oh y'all, we had a nice little sighting too. If you follow Kyle on Twitter, there go Justice. You got Justice Haynes walking in the building right there. Oh, that's Josh Cuevas.
Oh yeah, Josh
What's
Cuevas.
up, Josh?
Josh Cuevas.
What's up, man? There you go.
Hi, Josh
Everybody, we getting
Cuevas.
everybody out here. Man, we've been seeing some of everybody today. I ain't gonna tell y'all who it is, but if you follow recruiting, look who that is. Just gonna say that. We talked to him earlier today. But yeah, y'all, we gonna set up somewhere. It feel good out here today. We
Hell
got a
yeah,
lot
it
of
feels
wind.
good. You want to just set up right here like we did?
Yeah, like we always do. You wanna put it facing the building?
You could just right here up on here.
Oh yeah, that looks good right there, Kyle.
Oh, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Come down here real quick.
Let me get my mic on. Give me a second, y'all.
Yo, what's up, fam? We'll just get posted real quick. What sounds good for dinner tonight? Feels like a right? Does it feel like a hooligans night? You know what? They opened up a new. Who's been to Avenue Pub? You want to get that mic? I think you could just probably slap it up because of the
Ain't no wind.
test. Nah, I think you'd be good. Kind of feels like a hooligans night. So Hooligans, if you've been to Hooligans, we're going to talk about it in a minute. We're going to talk about Brailsford in just a second. Hooligans has burgers, amazing burgers, but they also have Greek food, right? So you could get like a kebab, you get hummus, anything that you want at Hooligans. Avenue Pub, they just opened up a new location, kind of like down towards the river, and oh, it's amazing. They got a steak sandwich, killer. Hey, so all right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube, along with Coach Smook. We appreciate you guys being here. Today is absolutely beautiful outside the steps of Coleman Coliseum, which is only fitting because these guys play in the Final Four matchup tomorrow against UConn. Coach, where are we going to be at?
Oh, official announcement here?
Yeah.
So tomorrow night for the watch party, we won't be here, but we will be up the road, up the street
Yes.
at Houndstooth Sports Bar. When I say you guys, if you want to pull up, you're going to have to get there to watch the first game.
Yeah.
And get you a good spot. But we will be set up off in the cut. We're not gonna have like no special VIP, but we will be there, and they are showing us.
We're
love.
just gonna be like in the mix.
We want to be a part of the mix like
Yeah.
we were last time. It was such a vibe. If you all can make it and show up undefeated, you
Yep.
know, I think I might wear my shirt tomorrow or my
Okay.
hat.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Like I'm.
Me too.
I think we could represent and just continue to grow the network, continue to grow the undefeated family. But that's where we'll be tomorrow. I'll be there around like 5:15 to catch the first game. Y'all see me in there? Pull up.
All right, so check this out. All right, so we roll up. All right, and here we go. The first person that I see is Parker Brailsford. All right, so Parker Brailsford was walking in. He walked into the Sports and Science Center. Smook, Coach Sheridan was even asked about, it was Mike Rodak, 24/7, who asked him straight up. He was like, hey, what do you think about, can you give us the latest on Parker Brailsford? And what did he say?
Yeah, man, and he said, no, I'm gonna let Coach Kalen DeBoer. And you know what? Not to speculate or put anything verbatim out there. Usually when that happens, that means there's something disciplinary or something that was done to, you know, not necessarily disciplinary, but there's something that needs to be addressed, like directly from the man. You know
Look,
what I'm saying?
he was clearly working out at the practice. I mean, like he didn't have like any pads on. He was just working out, and he had, you could tell, he was sweaty, right? So he was putting in some work. Whatever it is, I think that this period probably giving him a little bit of time to just evaluate,
Yep.
which is perfectly fine, right? Like whether he was leaving or thought about it, whatever, man. Like, have you never thought about leaving your job one day when you had a bad week?
I ain't never thought about leaving
Right?
your girl or
See,
your
no,
man.
exactly. And you had like some time just to kind of chill. Well, maybe that's what he's doing, and which is perfectly fine. So Coach Kalen DeBoer will address that. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I have no idea, but we'll ask him tomorrow at the scrimmage. And for those of you that are going to be at the scrimmage, whether that's the Red Elephants Club, I'm sure you guys will see. So he was at practice today. We did see him here, and then right after him was Ryan Williams.
Yes.
Ryan Williams with Bob Welton. Bob Welton's the director of recruiting here at the University of Alabama. Ryan Williams coming in. Coach Smook, we also had a chance to hear from James Brockemeyer, which was interesting because we saw Parker Brailsford. Then we got a chance to hear from James Brockemeyer. Your thoughts on Brockemeyer?
James Brockemeyer is displaying like this level of confidence that we probably haven't been able to be exposed to. Being with the last staff, the last coaching staff, they really didn't have him out there, you know, really. So it was good to just hear him talk.
Yes.
And his confidence though, and being a leader, you could tell that he's matured since he's been here. Y'all heard he came here at 265 and he said he's at 295
Yes.
now. I said that too.
Yes.
I didn't realize that he was had gotten that big. So for everybody else saying he's undersized and all that, nah, they still are putting size on these guys. You know, I always said 280 to 295 would be ideal for the offensive line across the board, and that's the type of measurements and numbers we're getting. So it's good to know that he's confident in his new system. And just like everybody else, football is football to a certain extent, but he's very confident, especially with having Jaden Roberts and Tyler Booker to his left and his right. So I think that's a good thing for him.
You know what I'll do is, how about I play that clip right now? So I'm gonna go back and edit this. So here's a clip of James Brockemeyer talking about Jaden Roberts and Tyler Booker being on the side of him. Okay, after that clip. All right, so now moving to the wide receivers. We saw, as I mentioned, we saw Ryan Williams rolling in, right? But we also had an opportunity to hear from Emmanuel Henderson. Coach, your thoughts on Emmanuel Henderson?
He, man, fast. That's what everybody was saying. I mean, Coach Sheridan said it. He prides himself on being fast, but the fact that he's healthy, he said that was one thing. I asked him a question about being healthy and coming in, You could tell that he feels good about what's happening for him, very appreciative, and just dedicated to the cause. Like being here at Bama is something that he wants to do. That's never been in question. But his route running, he's talked about how he worked on his route running in the offseason, getting to all the little specific, the small things that's going to help him be able to contribute to the team. And, you know, playing next to guys like Kendrick Law and Kobe Prentice, you got no choice but to get better in route running.
Nick Sheridan also talked about the running back room. I asked him, what has he seen? I asked him a couple questions that he seemed to really like my questions. Maybe I could get an interview with him.
I think he rocked with us, man.
Right? I know. So asked him about the running backs. Justice Haynes, Jan Miller, Richard Young. You had a lot to say about the running backs. In fact, here is Coach Shepard talking about the running backs. So I'm clipping those so I can piece together a video later. All right, so he had a lot of great things to say, but this was the interesting thing. At the end, they said one last question. So I was like, what about the basketball team?
That was funny.
And
That was cool.
he actually, so Nick Sheridan, who's the OC here, watched Coach Nate Oates coach when he was coaching high school basketball at Romulus, right?
Yeah, said he was a third baseman in baseball.
Yes.
And didn't know why
That
he
was
was in
crazy.
the basketball game, but it was crazy to see Coach Nate Oates coaching in the high school team that they were playing against. And he said they just had a lot of talent. It was a big game, and he enjoyed it, you know. So he hasn't got a chance to meet Nate Oates. That's weird too. Like, you know, everybody's meeting each other. So he said he hasn't got a chance to personally meet him. But he's excited about the basketball team.
But he did say that Grant Nelson came over to speak with one of their leadership groups, which I thought was pretty cool. I mean, it's amazing to think that Alabama basketball competing for a Final Four, competing for a national championship game, just one game away. We will be at Houndstooth on Saturday night. If you want to roll through, look for us, then roll through. He's Coach Smook. My name's Kyle Henderson, both of Bama Football on YouTube. Run the thumbs up on these videos. We appreciate you guys more than you know. It was great to be able to talk to the offensive players today, as well as Coach Sheridan. Coach, any final thoughts before we wrap it up here?
Final thoughts, man. As you can see, the questions are starting to dial down. And, you know, more answers are coming up. But we're starting to get a clear picture of what this team is becoming, and I'm starting to feel a lot of confidence with the development of this team and how things are starting to turn out for everything.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you guys more than you know. Thank you very much for being a part of Bama Football on YouTube. We got the coaches coming through. If you are a high school coach, you definitely need to support the Coaches Clinic because these coaches have a lot of positive things to say. Coaches Clinic taking place right now, right here at the University of Alabama. One more time from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Kyle Henderson, Coach Smook. We'll be back soon right here with another video or as news happens. And appreciate you guys being with us right here on Bama Football on YouTube.
Roll Tide, y'all.